Imagine this. It's the middle of the month and you open your wallet expecting just enough to tide you over. But somehow, it's lighter than last time. The groceries that used to fit your budget now demand a few hundred pesos more. The jeepney ride to work stings a bit sharper with every fare hike. And that utility bill? It's crept up again, quietly, without fanfare. You're not alone in this. Across the Philippines, from the high-rises of Makati to the sari-sari stores in the provinces, families like yours are feeling the same subtle shift. It's not the stuff of headlines screaming crisis, it's the slow drain on your daily cash flow. The way your hard-earned salary seems to evaporate faster than before. This isn't about panic or doomsday prophecies. On our channel, Discovering the Earth, we dig into the real forces shaping our lives, the economic trends that whisper rather than shout. Today, we're examining why, heading into 2026, Filipino households are facing a mounting financial strain. It's a story of everyday pressures building like storm clouds, prices outpacing paychecks, savings thinning out, and debts that feel like necessary anchors in choppy waters. According to Philippine Statistics Authority and Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas trend data, these aren't isolated blips, they're patterns that have intensified since the inflation peaks of 2024 and early 2025. We're here to build awareness, not fear, because understanding these trends empowers you, the middle-class parent juggling school fees and car loans, the worker piecing together side gigs, the small business owner watching margins shrink, to make smarter moves before the squeeze tightens. No blame, no exaggeration, just clear-eyed analysis grounded in the realities you live every day. Let's walk through it together, starting with what we mean when we talk about a crash in this context. Before we dive deeper, let's clarify something essential. In this video, crash does not mean the Philippine economy will suddenly collapse. It means household finances are under growing pressure, where incomes lag behind prices, savings are shrinking, debt is rising, and families are running out of financial breathing room. Why does this matter? Many Filipinos today feel poorer, even as they're working longer hours or taking on extra shifts. It's the quiet math of inflation outrunning wage growth, turning what was once comfortable into a constant calculation. Over time, this erodes not just bank accounts, but peace of mind, the ability to plan for a child's tuition or a family vacation without second-guessing every expense. And as we approach 2026, these pressures are converging, pushing households toward a tipping point where adaptation becomes urgent, not optional. Household surveys from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas suggest this strain has been building steadily, amplified by global ripples like economic slowdowns abroad. It's not about overnight ruin, it's about the long-term damage when financial buffers wear thin. Let's begin with the most tangible pressure, the cost of living surge that's reshaping how families budget. Picture a typical household in Quezon City, a couple with 2 kids, both working steady jobs in retail and call centers. A year ago, their weekly trip to the Palenque for rice, fish, and vegetables ran about 1,500 pesos. Now, food inflation has nudged those prices up steadily, with staples like pork and cooking oil bearing the brunt since 2024. It's not dramatic spikes, but consistent upward creeps that force choices. Do you buy the cheaper brand, or skip the extra protein for the week? This isn't just about groceries. Transport costs, fuel for that aging tricycle or longer commutes on packed buses, have risen in tandem, eating into the daily commute budget. Utilities, too, electricity and water bills that once felt predictable now fluctuate with seasonal demands and rate adjustments, turning a simple summer afternoon into another line item to juggle. According to PSA trend data, these daily expenses have outpaced overall inflation in recent quarters, creating a gap where even frugal habits stretch thinner. The real sting hits at home. Families report cutting back on non-essentials, not luxuries, but small joys like eating out once a month or buying school supplies without tallying every centavo. It's a quiet erosion, where the math no longer adds up, leaving households wondering how to bridge the shortfall without dipping into reserves they don't have. Tied closely to those rising costs is the stagnation in incomes, a trend that's left many feeling like they're running in place. Consider a young professional in Cebu, fresh out of college and climbing the corporate ladder in IT. Her salary bumped up modestly last year, but contractual work means no guarantees beyond the next renewal. For her and millions in similar roles, wages haven't kept pace with the inflation that peaked in 2024, let alone the ongoing creep in essentials. In the informal sector, think street vendors, freelance drivers, or home-based seamstresses, this pressure is even more acute. Unstable gigs mean irregular paydays, and when typhoons or holidays disrupt flow, there's no safety net. Economic analysts note that while some sectors like business process outsourcing show glimmers of growth, the average worker's take-home pay lags, squeezed by taxes and contributions that feel heavier amid flat raises. The household impact. It's the deferred dreams, that family in Davao postponing a home repair because the breadwinner's overtime dried up, or a teacher in the provinces moonlighting as a tutor just to cover rising rent. This stagnation doesn't scream, it simmers, turning ambition into survival mode and amplifying every other strain. As costs rise and incomes stall, more families turn to debt, not as extravagance, but as a bridge over the gap. Enter the world of credit cards, online lending apps, and salary loans, which have seen rising usage per BSP household surveys. It's easy to see why. That quick loan from an app covers an unexpected medical bill, or a credit card swipe gets the kids through enrollment without the shame of asking relatives. But here's the trend. Borrowing has ticked up since mid-2024, fueled by easy access and urgent needs, creating a cycle where interest payments now rival grocery bills. Informal borrowing, from neighbors or 5 to 6 lenders, adds another layer, with high rates that compound the pressure. For a small business owner in Iloilo stocking inventory on credit, one delayed payment from a client can snowball into weeks of catch-up. In real life, this manifests as the debt trap families whisper about, the call center agent in Laguna maxing her card for car repairs, only to face minimum payments that eat half her next paycheck. It's not recklessness, it's necessity in a system where cash flow feels perpetually short. Calmly put, this reliance amplifies vulnerability, turning temporary fixes into ongoing burdens. If this feels familiar in your own life, you're not alone. Share your experience in the comments. It helps others understand what's really happening beyond official reports. With debts mounting and gaps widening, savings, those hard-won emergency funds or tucked-away pesos for retirement and education, bear the brunt. BSP data points to declining household savings rates through 2024 and into 2025, as families dip into accounts to cover basics rather than build for tomorrow. It's a subtle shift. The piggy bank that once held 3 months' expenses now barely covers one. Think of a middle-class family in Baguio, both parents in government service. They started a small fund for their daughter's college, but repeated draws for utility spikes and school fees have halved it. Living paycheck to paycheck becomes the norm, where rainy days feel like every day. Retirement dreams delayed indefinitely as 401k-style plans gather dust amid immediate fires. This erosion isn't laziness, it's math. When outflows exceed inflows, buffers vanish, leaving households exposed to the next health scare or job hiccup. It's the quiet theft of security, making long-term planning feel like a luxury few can afford. Running out of money doesn't happen overnight. It happens quietly, when prices rise faster than paychecks, and families are forced to stretch every peso further. Filipinos aren't bad with money. The system is under strain, with trends like those inflation surges and wage plateaus creating a perfect storm for household stress. From the OFW's deferred dreams to the small business owner's midnight tallies, this pressure builds slowly, then suddenly feels overwhelming, testing the bonds that hold us together. Yet here's the truth we hold on to. Resilience isn't just a word, it's in our blood. The middle-class mother who barters skills for services, the worker who networks for that next opportunity, the young professional budgeting with apps and hope. By facing these realities head-on, we reclaim control. Informed decisions today, whether it's negotiating a loan rate or planting a backyard garden, pave the way for breathing room tomorrow. You're not powerless, you're prepared. Together, we adapt, endure, and emerge. In the next video, we'll look at what Filipino families are doing to survive this pressure, and which strategies are actually working.